Nate Thompson's the Razorback hitting coach, and he's joining us on the Chuck and Bo Show in what seems like an eternity until the game begins.
A record home run season, we might add.
With a record home run season. Coach, thanks for hopping on with us. It's been a great year so far. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, guys. You bet. I appreciate you having me on, and, looking forward to Saturday.
Are you guys just like watching the time go by? Does it feel slow for you? I don't know what it is, the difference between playing on Friday and Saturday. It feels like a week instead of a day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I maybe would have preferred to get it going on Friday. Like us coaches always talk to about, we'd rather have that 2 o'clock day game than the, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock PM game. So, we want to get it going and get after it.
So how do you work the pace this week with your team? I mean, you don't play until Saturday, but you've still got to prepare. There's all kinds of things to do. How do you work that this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like last week, honestly. We're kind of taking this, page from that routine again. So, really didn't do much on Monday. Had a little bit of a workout on Tuesday. Had more of a full team workout yesterday. We'll do it again today. There's always things you have to prepare for, and you got to look at specifics for each team you're taking on. But as far as Tennessee goes, man, I mean they're a power team, whether it's with the arms or with the bat, and we just. There's not like a terrible amount of things that you have to do to prepare for that, other than just go be good when you play them, and honestly just stay fresh and try to keep the boys trying to take it easy a little bit throughout the week. So it's very similar to last week, honestly.
We had Chris Burke on a little bit earlier today, and he was talking about how both teams 1 through 9 can hit the ball out of the ballpark. As a hitting coach, knowing that, if there is a hole, it's not a very big one in the lineup. We got 9 guys who can produce. What's that been like for you this season?
Well, it's been great because we always talk about we want the opposing team to have to feel like they're taking a real deep breath every time they collect an out, and that it's a struggle to get through the 9 innings. It's a struggle to get 27 outs, and when you're always applying pressure, then maybe the dam can break at any moment. And so the guys have been doing a great job putting pressure on, executing their approaches, and we got to see a little bit of that throughout the regional too. I felt like against Creighton.
Nate, let's talk about the rematch. You don't often get, within a month, you're playing the same team in another, what could be 3-game series, but the first 2, if you win the first 2, you don't have to play a third game. But it's in the same ballpark. Now you're in the postseason. You've just gotten a look at each other. How does that change, or does it change the approach? Are there a lot of adjustments to be made based on having played these guys so recently?
Yeah, I mean, I look back, and when we went to Omaha in 2018 and 2019, we played SEC teams that we had previously hosted in the year. But those matchups were much earlier in the SEC season. And so this one is unique in the fact that, it was just the last regular season SEC weekend. We faced Tennessee. I think you're just rolling out there, man. These teams have, I want to say 10 of the top 70 prospects in all of baseball for this year. Okay, for the draft.
Wow.
Of draft-eligible players, all right, between the two teams. There's 13 out of the top 200, okay, according to MLB Pipeline. So you have, you've got the SEC Pitcher of the Year, you've got the SEC Player of the Year, you got 2 out of the 3 Golden Spikes guys. you've really got the two winningest programs over the last 8 years of college baseball going at it. And so I just think you're just going best on best, man. And, I watched every pitch from last week's series, just in the last couple days. And, you're trying to take a note on everything you can see and trying to make adjustments. But really it's just all about execution, because at the end of the day, Tennessee, honestly, and Arkansas, we have probably the two hardest throwing teams in the country in terms of velocity on the mound. 32% of all 98-mile-an-hour plus fastballs that were thrown in the country this year are between these two teams.
Wow.
So,
jeez,
it's best on best, man. It's going to be it's a scout's dream, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and it's a hard ticket to get. I mean, that it's obvious, but if you go look at the secondary market for tickets right now, these are College World Series prices and beyond all over the ballpark, whether you're behind home plate or out in the hog pen. I think people realize, what you have. And it makes me want to ask you, how do you keep your guys in the moment? But I got to say, I've had the privilege to meet a lot of the guys in your lineup, talk to them, get their stories, hog pods or whatever we've done. And Coach, I've just been impressed by the approach all season. I think I talked about it midway through the year on the show that success isn't guaranteed, but you love when you see the right, what feels like the level-headed approach, the right approach at the plate. And even when, there have been some ups and downs, but for the most part, even through the struggles, you've seen that. Does that prepare you for this moment, that approach? And what is that approach?
I think it absolutely does prepare you. We had lost, I think, 3 straight series at one point in the middle of SEC play this year. We'd lost to Georgia 2 out of 3, A&M, and Florida, and been very, very close to getting over the top in all of them. And something we told the team going into the last 3 series was these are all super regionals. Every weekend is a super regional. That's the way you got to attack it. And you're facing, top 5 opponents every weekend. And so, if that doesn't prepare you for this, then I just don't know what does. And really, it just comes back to your routine and your process. And that might sound, corny or whatever, but it's really the thing that, if you look at professional golfers, they're always in their process and in their routine. And I think, the pitchers have to do it, the hitters have to do it. You got to go out and execute and try to win each pitch. And you're not you can't win the series on Saturday. You really, you can't, you just got to try to win that current inning you're in. And within that inning, you got to win the at-bat. And so that might sound too simple, but it really is the way it is. And we've just been trying to preach, do the right thing, and, hit the ball hard and you win. Have a quality at-bat and you win. And sometimes you hit a ball hard and you have a quality at-bat and you line out. And so, it's not always going to be perfect, but can you stick with that mentality and that process and trust it and know you're good and have confidence in that and just keep rolling? So,
as kind of a follow,
yeah.
as kind of a follow-up to that, I want to go back to a couple of things you talked about. The power pitchers. When you're a hitter and you're facing a guy that throws 100 miles an hour or thereabouts on pretty much every fastball that he throws, I'm interested in your approach. Do you go up there thinking I may only get one pitch to hit? Might be the first one, might be the 7th one, but I may only get one pitch to really drive. How do you talk to your hitters about that? What's your approach when you come to the plate against that kind of power?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The truth is you have to be able to hit the fastball, okay? Most of the guys that are going to throw with that kind of velocity, most of them, not all of them, they throw the fastball a lot, and they throw it, somewhere around the plate. Now, they might not be able to control it as much as some other guys. But, yeah, you have to be on time. And when you get it, you got to go for it. And that's something we talked about with the guys, too. It's like, if you're in a less than 2-strike count, you've got to be, you don't have to swing big. You don't have to be effortful. You just have to supply some barrel to the baseball. And, he supplies the power with the velocity. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, when you get it, you can't miss. The other thing is, too, is when you're going up against great arms like that with velocity, sometimes, you may end up striking out, okay? But how long does it take?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you take a good chunk of him with you as you're leaving? Can it take 6 or 7 pitches versus, 3 or 4? And if you can have a collective unit go out and compete and do that sort of thing, well, then you've got a chance to get that guy out of the game quicker and get to the next guy. And so, yeah, but man, being fastball efficient against a team like Tennessee is paramount importance.
It's a good inside look at it with Arkansas hitting coach Nate Thompson. Coach, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you before we let you go, and I know it's been talked about plenty, but still, for Vahiva Loy to garner the honors he has, be a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award, the Heisman of college baseball, SEC Player of the Year. I mean, the success he's had this year and the improvement from last year, how would you just describe what you've been a part of and watched develop?
Well, it's been a truly a joy to be around and see. Vahiva came back from summer ball and he had made some adjustments. He went right into work. He looked good in fall ball, and then in the training in this off season in our indoor facility, I mean, it was like he couldn't miss. And the kind of force that he was impacting the baseball with consistently, it was special. It made you go, man, this guy is fixing to have a special year. And so, to know him and know what kind of kid he is, and he's just a fantastic human being and a joy to be around, and he's pretty much always got a smile on his face. And how much his teammates enjoy him. It's awesome to see, and how he's not all about himself, and he's not trying to, point to himself and make himself a big deal. He's very humble, and he just goes about his business the right way. And so, extremely, extremely happy for him, proud of him, and excited for his future, man. It's truly a credit. So.
Well, congratulations to you, the team, the success that you guys have had so far. We look forward to watching this amazing matchup on this weekend starting Saturday for the Super Regional. Nate Thompson, Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you, Coach.